podcast.
Where laughter meets inner peace.
I'm your host, Shaka,
And I'm Kiana.
and thank you for tuning in to our very first episode. I know that you guys saw the tagline, and the episode is called You Take the Man Back, Another Child. What does that mean? Now, in our Caribbean community or Caribbean American community, this issue is something that is very is very common is very common in our community. Now, basically, what does that mean? You take the man back with the child. We wanna talk about specifically outside children. What is outside children?
Yeah. Should we even call them outside children? Because technically it's not a kid's fault that they were. So basically, outside children refers to children being born outside of a relationship or a marriage or like a common law um, relationship. And any child born outside of that union is referred to quote unquote as outside children.
Yeah, you're right. So should we be calling them outside children for truth? Should we?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Let's talk about it. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments.
Let us know. Yeah, I think it's very derogatory because, as you mentioned, it wasn't their fault, but that's what we're calling it, right? So for this episode, until we get a new name, y'all give us a name, y'all. Yes. We're gonna call them outside children. Now, let's give a scenario, right? So basically what happens is that your husband married, and I know that yes, this plagues husbands and wives. I know, men, do get cheated on too, but be honest, it happens frequently with women a lot. Okay,
let's be for real.
Exactly. So let's give a scenario. You get your husband, you're married, you're living life good, you must get some children. He go outside. Maybe that's why they get the name outside children. And get a sweet woman, aka
side chick,
right? And you get a child. Now what happens next? You decide to, let's take back the man and forgive him. Should you forgive him? What do you think?
Well, I personally won't tell a woman whether or not you should leave her man, outside of abuse, then you gotta get out of there. If he can hit you, he can kill you, and we do not condone abuse. However, whether or not a woman chooses to stay with her partner after he committed infidelity, that's solely up to her. Some people can work through it and able to grow from that experience, while others are not. So a lot of times, some women, for various reasons, choose to take the man back.
Yeah.
And better you than me.
No judgment here. No judgment here. But you know what? You decide, because people can change. People will be forgiven.
Yeah.
You decide to take the man back. Or fellas, you decide to take a woman back. No issue there, because we can do that as well. And then now, but what happens with the child? Right? Mm-hmm. So what we want to focus on in this episode is, this is a very common scenario. Y'all know that, right? Mm-hmm. And what we want to focus on mostly is the parties involved. Who are the parties involved? Mm-hmm. So the first person we get is
the sweet woman, aka the side chick.
Yep.
The cheating man. So we call him the cheating man?
Well, no, he's a forgiven man because we forgive him and he's changed now, right? That's what we're going with.
The quote unquote outside child.
Yes.
But the child, born from this union.
Yes. And then the queen and mother of all the wifey, right? And of course, the children that the wife and the husband has brought. Mm-hmm. So let's look at it from each point of view. So let's start with wifey point of view. Wifey now, she found out about the situation, super mad, have a right to be super mad about it, but she chose to forgive this man. So she can't still be upset, right?
I mean, you can forgive and still be mad.
I know, but men, come on. A lot of times, y'all, women.
You can forgive, but not forget. Okay?
No, we forgive. How can you foster a healthy relationship? Right? So if you as a woman, you choose to be and connect back with this man, he's your husband. You don't want to, give that up. And I understand a lot of women that they're married, they don't want to just throw that away, or even in a common law relationship, or with a boyfriend or whatever, you don't want to throw that away. You don't want to throw that commitment that y'all have away.
Right. And rightfully so. No judgment. Like, people have the right to choose whether or not to stay or leave a relationship at any given time because it's your own personal choice. Like what's that saying? You don't come between man and woman.
Story. True that.
Because at the end of the day, when people are in bed having their pillow talks, you can't get involved in that. You just don't know the full dynamic of a relationship. Like we all hear various sides. Like what is it? There's 3 sides: his side, her side, and the truth.
The right side.
So you never know. You never know.
Right. Good. So, but for me, once the woman forgiving the man, it's done with, right? It's done with. So it's done with. So you need to.
So you're telling me it's human. It's
Yes.
human to still have feelings. Like it's so hard. Okay, let's say she's like, okay, her partner, husband, baby daddy, whoever cheated on her, had this baby outside, and she decides she's gonna forgive him.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a journey. You know what I mean?
It is a journey.
It's a journey. So it's not gonna be overnight. She's gonna be like all, forgiving. Like forgiveness takes time.
Yes, it does take time. But you there with a man, living with a man, and then you decide, okay, it's gonna take time, right? But you know you're forgiving it, you know you take it back. The issue is what happens in that meantime, and we're gonna be just cause fight. What's the point of that? Right? If you're gonna make the choice to get this man in your home, marry him, keep these together, you're still making it break, wherever you just do for you, or maybe not. You understand? And then no, you get this out child, whatever. But you stay with him. You know down the road you plan to forgive you because you want to left your husband, whatever. It's not you left you right then. Because what's the point we're gonna cause and fight every day? Like it's not healthy. That you forgive you right then. Yes, and I agree. I think there's a journey. You could do counseling and all those things in between at the time. But if once you've made the decision to take it back, he close him packed to the door, nothing like that. You take it back, you're sleeping in the same bed. You're there with this man still, right? You got to begin the journey of a healthy relationship. Right, so I think that's important for the woman. Now,
so what you're saying, let me get it straight. So what you're saying is that as long as the woman decides to take the man back, even if she hasn't fully forgiven him, that her action needs to be aligned with forgiveness, meaning that she needs to not showcase behavior where she's like being malicious, being angry, volatile. Or can she be volatile a little bit because her feelings is hurt?
Well, I think initially, of course, there's nothing wrong. Look, if you're deciding that you're in the process, okay, just right now, things popping up, this different. But you would say, okay, well, he do this, you're bringing it back in your home, because I didn't put you out or whatever. You forgive him. You know that you're left in it. Like, this is my marriage, I'm leaving, or whatever. We're gonna do cuss and fight every morning.
So let me answer this again.
Okay.
Let me make this completely clear.
Okay.
So, what is forgiveness to you? All right, in this situation, what would forgiveness look like?
Okay, so for me, if I decided to take him back, I'm pissed, I'm mad, everything, I'm upset. However, I'm like, I'm gonna keep with my marriage. I can't do cuss a fight every time. I gotta decide to work on it. Now, will things change? Absolutely. Trust, it's gonna look different. Actions is gonna look different. But the main thing here is my husband, is my man. What is he doing? Is he still staying out 2:00 every morning? Is he still talking with this woman? You understand?
But
now that is the important part.
Doesn't he remember there's a quote unquote outside child when he need to talk with the
exactly, and that's why we're talking about all the parties involved. There's just the woman in the wife.
The wifey.
Yes.
The wifey needs to. Her actions need to be in line with forgiveness. So she
correct.
Can't keep bringing up the infidelity over and over. She has to be like, all right, we're gonna move on towards healing.
Yes.
So in that way, her action needs to be aligned with healing.
Absolutely, and
okay.
and exactly, and that's the point.
I can get behind that.
Exactly. Yes, obviously you still need to work with him on different stuff, but if you're gonna take him back, you gotta get to the point of healing. And I know a lot of men like, yes, right. Finally, but man, what should you do in this situation? What should you be doing? Because remember, you're responsible for this whole situation popping off. So what you should do?
Absolutely. You bringing this mess to the front door. So let me deal with that.
So what, from the man point of view now, how it look like for you? What you think that he should be looking at?
So first, as a man, since you made the mess, you have to clean up the mess.
Yep.
You absolutely have to clean up the mess. you have to be the leader in charge of bringing everyone together.
Facts.
Because you cannot expect wifey to do it. At the end of the day, you went outside and you committed adultery, infidelity, cheat, blow, horn, whatever you want to call it.
Right, the Caribbean figure out kind of name for it. You know what I said? Blow confident, but it's not episode how we doing that here.
At the end of the day, your job is to ensure that one, you apologize, you make amends for your actions, and at the end of the day, you also have to make sure that you bring the family together. Because now the family also includes this child that was born, quote unquote, on the outside.
Facts.
That has nothing to do with their circumstances. Because at the end of the day, that was your choice, Mr. Man, and you need to be responsible in guiding that child or your children towards a place of unity and harmony, because it's not on the kids to do so.
Yep, exactly. So, Mr. Husband, now faithful husband, now doing the right thing, you're the one that needs to step up. And I know in a lot of societies, especially Caribbean societies, even in American society, that falls on the wife, because we blame the wife for a lot of things. Oh, well, why he step up, why he do this? Nah. She ain't got nothing to do with it. She's the innocent party in all of this. She chose to forgive you and repair the relationship. Now you got to step up as a man and show that, okay, you've forgiven me. We working on it. This is who I am. This is my changed self. This is what I'm gonna do now. You can't be doing the same thing you were doing when you were cheating, right? Otherwise, peace ain't gonna ever come. So how that's something that you definitely need to step up and work on if you want things to change. So man, you're like, well, she don't know what happened. I ain't do nothing. It can't work like that.
Exactly, and you also have to rebuild trust. Because at the end of the day, you can't be coming home all hours of the night and expect wifey to be like trusting towards you when you already burned her. Like, come on.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You got to work hard at rebuilding trust. So that's something you need to do. And so we got rebuilding trust, bringing the family together, fostering the connection and the harmony. What else do you think they should do?
So the other party involved, one of the main party is the sweet woman, aka side chick. What is your role?
But wait a minute, let me don't villainize the side chick yet. Because sometimes, some women don't know that their partner, the man they were dealing with, has a wife or a partner, whatever. And that happens.
It does.
But not all the time. So women are willing participants in these kind of like extramarital affairs. So sometimes, they very well know that, that he has somebody else, but they don't care. So what do you think the side chick, aka sweet woman?
Okay, well, you're right. Some women don't know, right? But when this whole thing pop off, she'll find out. So now you have a responsibility now. Okay, you know what? Maybe your feelings are hurt because you were in love with this man, but a whole child now. What you're gonna do? He chooses to back you with your wife. Yeah, feelings are hurt, but you can't be bitter. You understand? You got to be like, okay, well, how can I make the best of a bad situation? Especially if you willingly went into the situation. I know this man married. Ma'am, you play a hand in this mess, you gotta clean the mess up. I'm sorry. So, now you gotta work on how can I do this? How can I fix this relationship? So you gotta try to let the people heal in peace on their own. You understand? And focus on creating a healthy, happy place for your child.
Yeah, focus on your child.
Focus on your child.
Focus on your child. Shield your child from the rejection, from the hurt, because wifey might be hurt, and in turn take it out on the child. And that, once again, that's not right. We are strong advocates for children. Because we believe at the end of the day, no matter the circumstances in which they're born under, it wasn't their fault. They did not ask to be here. So at the end of the day, protect children at all costs.
Yeah, which brings us to the main party involved, the child, right? Because this would episode is about.
Wait. Before we move on to the child, sweet woman, aka side chick, now is not a time for you to in the streets trying to fight wifey.
Facts.
Let's leave the violence in the past. We're not doing that. Let's not do that. Take your L and sit back.
Some people take an L, bro. Some people ain't take an L.
What we saying there? Don't be wrong. It's
true. Yo, we be fighting for the life in these streets, bro.
It's worth it. Think of that. Think about a man that you're fighting over.
And then you another two, you live in a small community, everybody know your business. And everybody used to say, my business on the land town post. You know, it's not worth it, bro. Oh, sis, move on. You understand? Sis, move on. But the child, right? That's the main thing of what we want to focus on. How do we protect the child, right? Absolutely. So this child now birthed into this world, didn't ask for any of this, and now is, you know, with a mom who's probably bitter, and with a dad that you don't, or he or she don't even see, because it's a messy situation. And it's the truth. It's a messy situation. And I know, especially in our Caribbean community, it's so common to be like, they're gonna figure it out. But no, it affects, it really affects us, you know, affects the child. So
it affects the children.
Exactly.
Both the outside and the inside children.
Yes, inside child, that's what we call it.
I mean, if one is outside, the other one gotta be inside.
Right, that makes sense.
We don't necessarily agree with these
names. They're all kids.
You know, that's what they use as a descriptor.
Yes, true. Okay, so what steps this family should take? What's the first step that they should take? Let's talk about that. So obviously they want to seek counseling.
Absolutely. Seek counseling. Whether it's like, if you go to church, that might be, you know, seek like a pastoral counseling. If that's something you do, aligns with your lifestyle, or maybe someone in the community that's highly regarded,
educated enough to do it. Yeah, exactly. If you don't have, look for resources, right? That could help. Find a mediator, somebody that's gonna, you know,
older family member who had really good, you know, successful marriage, or has wisdom, someone who's wide and able to be unbiased in the situation, because at the end of the day, we want to stand for what's right.
Exactly.
And now's not a time to be on either side, but on the side of right, and on the side of protecting that child who was born in a very messy environment, circumstances.
Exactly. And obviously we promote professionals. If you can speak to a professional therapist, counselor, we know that everybody will have access to those resources, of course, but that's the way you want to go, between the husband and the wife for sure, and, you know, with the child and sweet woman, side chick. You know, it's an interesting name as well, right? So that's one.
And quote unquote, sorry for cutting you, but we don't mean to say this as a derogatory name or anything like that.
That's just a name.
That's just, in the Caribbean, we're using some of our, you know, lingo, and in the Caribbean we call a side chick, or the woman, the mistress.
Sweet woman. I mean, sweet woman not a derogatory name, though. Such a sweet. There's nothing wrong with her. But yeah, so that's one thing. Mom, you know, wifey, try to be civil. You understand? If the man,
if she's choosing to
obviously, if you're choosing
to stay with your man, stand beside him. I'm gonna sit beside him. If you're choosing to do so,
exactly,
you have to accept the child.
Yes,
wholly and completely, because at the end of the day, you can't accept the man back and then the child. Like, if that's what you're gonna do, might as well let the man go.
Facts. Exactly. And disclaimer: if the man still loves sweet woman, sweetie, I don't. This episode is not for you. Okay, you need to figure out what you need to do. This is for evolved, move on relationship, and y'all know trying to build and work, and you know, an elite side chick alone. So that's a whole different story. Now, wifey, though, once again, you know, you decide to take him back, you gotta keep it, you know, keep it. Yeah, exactly. Now when the child coming over, you tell your children, oh, look here, there's picnic coming over, I don't want she here, I don't want he here. Yeah. We ain't want them kind of things. Right? No. So don't do that. Exactly. Make the child feel comfortable. Make the child feel, you know, welcomed. Exactly. Have them at family gatherings and stuff like that, because that is the dad. When the dad got to give money, and there might be a stickler part, you know, a sticky situation too, because now you got to find money to get stretched. Money got stretched. But don't you take the man back. So now you got to figure out how the money stretching too. You understand? So you got to deal with that as well. You take the responsibility.
Yeah, but once again, you know, wifey has a role to play, but fellas, men who are in these circumstances, you gotta rise up. You gotta rise up to the occasion, because you have to be the leader in fixing this. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they're all your children, and you got to make sure that you foster harmony, and happiness, and love and peace among them. Because at the end of the day, these are your kids, and your job is to protect them. Whatever it is, your shortcomings you're doing, it shouldn't fall upon the child. So whatever you got to do as a man to apologize and to make amends, you have to do that.
Yeah, you gotta.
And once again, set good boundaries. Even if you have to communicate with the child's mother, make sure that you do so in a respectful way and be transparent.
Yeah.
If possible, wifey, the sweet woman, and the husband should have a sit down and talk.
Yeah.
If you're mature enough to handle that, highly recommend doing so. But if hands is gonna throw, let's table that for another time.
Yeah, exactly.
But men, you have to step up. Now it's not a time for you to be a coward and try to have someone else fight your battle. No.
Yeah.
It's your job to clean it up. So okay, Mr. Clean. Clean it up.
Exactly, and especially in a Caribbean society, the men leave a lot of things to the women, and we're not trying to do that, right? You're equal partners. You're a father, and she's a mother. You have to play that role half and half. So if you're gonna welcome this child, your child, into this situation, into now with your new family, integrated with your wife, you have to be there to protect that child and foster that good relationship in all parties involved.
Absolutely.
Sweet man. Now you too.
You got a role to play too.
You got one of the biggest roles, because once again, you can't be cussing and fighting and bad talking the wife either around the child or even the dad.
Yes.
Right? You sending over the child, hating the stepmother, bro. What are you doing? You creating. I mean, if you want bad talk,
or even
do with your friends.
Keeping the child away from their father, not sending the child to see their father.
No,
because there's two things can be true. Men can be horrible husbands, partners, but great fathers. So don't ever,
true. That's true.
Sacrifice a man's relationship with his child because of the relationship between the two of you, especially if it has nothing to do with him being a good father.
Facts.
So even if you're hurt, channel, that healing energy and power into healing your broken heart, while also allowing that child to have a relationship with their father. Because at the end of the day, you're both that child's parents. So you can't, have them not going to see their father because you're mad he didn't leave his wife and he told you should have left her and all this stuff. Like, that has nothing to do with the child. And at the end of the day, we got to put aside our hurts, our egos for the good of the child.
Yeah. Or you send the money. There's a problem enough time.
Yes. Or you send money always is a problem.
Right? And so those are the party involved, but we also have another party that we missed out is the other kids. Right? And they're, you try to, all adults involved, try to foster a good relationship with the other kids, with the inside kids and the outside kids, because trust me, they're a part of it too. They're feeling it and seeing it too.
And they're also following what the adults are doing. So if the adults are showing malintentions towards the child, then the kids will follow suit. They're not going to want to have a relationship with the outside child, because at the end of the day, if mommy in accepting the child, or if daddy in doing his job in fostering the relationship, why would I or the child want to do so?
Exactly.
So, parents, all adults involved have to be the ones that are leading the way towards doing the right thing, basically.
Yeah, and you're right. With being that quote unquote inside child, because as for me, I wanted to have that, relationship, with you, because you're my sister regardless. But, I kind of felt like away because they were like such a messy adult situation happening,
Absolutely. And not to get into deep with our own life, but this is something that we can definitely relate to. And this is why we speak on it, because at the end of the day, we understand now as adults that a lot of the things that happened had nothing to do with us. Had nothing to do with us and our relationship with each other.
Yeah.
And, if the adults in our lives were able to
Fix that mess.
Get along.
Fix that mess. Oh my God, so much mess, y'all.
Get along. It would have been better, like, for example, not wanting to go over at her house as a kid because, I didn't feel like I was super welcome there. And that impacted our relationship.
Yeah, even though technically your mother was a sweet woman, right?
Anyways.
Yeah, but I understand. And I was upset by that because now, we didn't get to build on that relationship. Like I didn't get to, get my sister to, be involved in my life,
Right.
growing up. So
like we were always revolving. We were like the sun, earth, and the earth. Always in
luckily
around each other.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to foster a good relationship until we were adults. Where we could have, minimized the noise. And that was intentional work on our part.
Correct.
So we're not talking to talk. Like we walk this walk. We know what it's like. And this is why, we really, really encourage the adults who are in this situation
right
to
now
really take the time to talk things through with each other and do what's right for the kids. Because at the end of the day, the kids are impacted. At the end of the day, that is their sibling, that is their blood, no matter what, however they came into being.
Yeah, it's true.
They are family. And, they need to know that. And they need to know that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So do the right thing.
Yeah, do the right thing. Right? So it's you as an adult, you're so busy and deep in your own hurt, you forget to see everybody else's hurt around you. And that's what we want to bring to light. Like all the parties involved. There's so many different parties involved, and the way you act as the adult.
It's the way you act.
Exactly. Right? You're gonna shape what happens to that child. And you don't wanna be, you don't have them years later being super mad or whatever, having enemies and all these different things with their own flesh and blood, right? Because it's important to have that relationship. So we especially right now want to be a voice to that, that young boy, that young girl out there, feeling alone or feeling neglected or feeling abandoned because white people don't be like, I want to go to the child. You understand? Or sweet don't be like, I want to go over there. What does that do? You understand? All that creates is this terrible place and feeling.
Rejection.
Exactly.
Feeling like you're unwanted.
Yeah.
Like you don't belong. And a lot of those things impact people well into their adulthood.
Yeah.
And so many of, the adults who are going through this probably have experienced this as a child.
Yeah.
So remember those moments
That's true.
of her that you felt as a child, and think of your child or whoever's going through that right now, and think about that child and how they feel in this situation. So we have to, as adults, protect children at all costs. They are not the ones to do the work. We cannot put the work on them to fix a broken home, to fix a broken marriage, to fix and heal and repair anything.
Yeah.
That is not their job.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that this topic might seem very taboo in our society because, we just want to throw it away. We don't even want to talk about it. We don't want to do it, but not
keep it on the rug.
Not alignment and healing. We talking about every single thing, right?
We're getting to the root of the healing, and we're going to uproot it together because true healing is messy.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to it.
Yeah.
We're going to get to the root of whatever the problem is because we are all impacted as a community, as our culture, and enough is enough. Aren't you guys tired? Enough is enough.
Facts. Exactly. So, viewers, tell me what you think, right? You take back the man, another child? Can't happen, right? Tell me what y'all think. I know a lot of people be like, well, have their own point of views. Let us know in the comments. Yes, no, maybe. How did you deal with it? Right? And we have more resources on our blog. Check out our website. We have more resources that talks about how to navigate this messy situation because the facts, it is messy, but there's a way that we can overcome it. It doesn't have to stay messy. And I know a lot of people out there, even kids watching, younger viewers, are like, breathe a sigh of relief, because you're right. It doesn't have to stay that way. It didn't have to stay that way. Look at us. It didn't have to stay that way. So,
and not to say that we're perfect. Like, our situation is complicated because it's a lot. It's a lot. We can't go into all that, but just know that, we have great experience in this, like, master level experience. But, we really empathize with the kids that are going through this, and know that you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone. And know that it is possible to have good and meaningful relationship with your siblings outside of the mess. Outside of the mess of our parental figures, their lives. Like, at the end of the day, they're going to do, the best they could with what they have. And a lot of times that falls short from what is optimal.
Yep.
But
exactly.
It's not the end of the world. It might seem like it is, but it's not. And you're not alone.
You're not alone. And that's one motto we're going to echo on this show all the time, because when you're dealing with this issue, a lot of time you feel like you're alone, but you're not. So thank you guys for tuning in on the first episode of Lyman and Healing. Let us know what you think in the comments.
Also, send us questions. We would love to answer your questions. So DM us. You can find us on all platforms.
Yes.
Not Twitter. I'm sorry. I don't know Twitter. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, where you're watching right now.
Yep.
At Lyman and Healing. If you haven't subscribed us yet to YouTube, go ahead and click the subscribe button.
Yep.
And make sure you click on the bell next to the subscribe, so that you get notification of whenever we post a new episode.
Yep.
And
and we're gonna have a new episode dropping. So look out for our next episode, same day, same time next week. Bye. And remember, bust a line.
Bust a line. See you next time.
Bye.